just love it?
Love what?
Tiffany's. Isn't it wonderful?
Actress and humanitarian, star of Breakfast at Tiffany's, remains one of Hollywood's greatest style icons and one of the world's most successful actresses. Welcome to Women in Film. Today's actress, Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn was an actress, fashion icon, and philanthropist who was born in Belgium, and at the age of 22, she starred in the Broadway production of Gigi. 2 years later, she starred in the film Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck. She set new fashion standards as Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Hepburn is one of the few actresses to win an Emmy, Tony, Grammy, and Academy Award. In her later years, acting took a back seat to her work on behalf of children. After the war, Hepburn continued to pursue an interest in dance. She studied ballet in Amsterdam and later in London. In 1948, Hepburn made her stage debut as a chorus girl in the musical High Button Shoes in London. More small parts on the British stage followed. She was a chorus girl in Sar's Tartar, but was moved to featured player in Sar's Pecans. Same year, Hepburn made her film debut in 1951's uncredited role, One's Wild Oat. She later went to play roles in Young Wives' Tale and The Lavender Hill Mob, starring Alec Guinness. She took the world by storm in the film Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck. Audiences and critics alike were wowed by her portrayal on Princess Anne, the royal who escapes the constrictions of title for a short time. She won an Academy Award for Best Actress for this performance. Hepburn made another award-worthy performance in Sabrina, as the title character, the daughter of a wealthy family's driver. Sabrina returns home after spending time in Paris as a beautiful and sophisticated woman. The family's two sons, Linus and David, played by Humphrey Bogart and William Holden, never paid much mind until her transformation. Pursuing her one-time crush, David, Sabrina unexpectedly found happiness with his older brother, Linus. Hepburn earned an Academy Award nomination for her work on this bittersweet romantic comedy. Showcasing her dancing abilities, Hepburn starred opposite Fred Astaire in the musical Funny Face. This film featured Hepburn undergoing another transformation. This time, she played a beatnik bookstore clerk who gets discovered by a fashion photographer played by Fred Astaire. Lured by a free trip to Paris, the clerk becomes a beautiful model. Hepburn's clothes for the film were designed by Herbert D. Givenchy, one of her close friends. Returning to her glamorous roots, Hepburn set new fashion standards as Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's, which was based on a novella by Truman Capote. She played a seemingly lighthearted but ultimately troubled New York City party girl who gets involved with a struggling writer played by George Peppard. Hepburn received her 4th Academy Award nomination for her work on the film. For the rest of the 1960s, Hepburn took on a variety of roles. She starred with Cary Grant in the romantic thriller Charade, playing the lead in the film version of the popular musical My Fair Lady. She went through one of the most famous metamorphoses of all time. As Eliza Doolittle, she played an English flower girl who becomes a high society lady. Taking on more dramatic fare, she starred a blind woman in the suspenseful tale Wait Until Dark, opposite Alan Arkin. Her character used her wits to overcome the criminals that were harassing her. This film brought her a 5th Academy Award nomination. That same year, Hepburn and her husband separated and later divorced. She married Italian psychiatrist Andrea Dotti in 1969, and the couple had a son, Luca, in 1970. In the 1970s and 1980s, Hepburn worked sporadically. She starred opposite Sean Connery in Robin and Marian, a look at the central figures of the Robin Hood saga in their later years. In 1979, Hepburn co-starred with Ben Gazzara in the crime thriller Bloodline. Hepburn and Gazzara teamed up again for the 1981 comedy They All Laughed, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. Her last screen role was in Always, directed by Steven Spielberg. In her later years, acting took a back seat to her work on behalf of children. She became a Goodwill ambassador for UNICEF in the late 1980s. She won a Special Academy Award for her humanitarian work in 1993, but she did not live long enough to see it. Hepburn died January 20th, 1993. I will always think of her as one of the great women in film. I'm Nevaeh Cable, and this is Vay's World. Please like and subscribe.